Hi guys, and welcome to another video here on the European Gaming League channel. Thank you very much for all the input on your videos recently, especially the Optic fans. I do sincerely apologize for putting them third. You're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with it. Anyway, into this video. Black Ops 4, of course, is now out. I've been absolutely loving it. I've played it non-stop basically for 3 days, and I'm still having first prestige, so it tells you everything about my experience and how good I am. But I feel like I played a lot of the game now, so I know sort of what's good, what maps are good, what weapons are good, what specialists I feel are a bit too strong, that sort of thing. So from a competitive standpoint, this is sort of my first opinions on the game and what I think could be good for competitive, what modes we probably going to be playing, what maps I think are good for competitive, that sort of thing is what I'm going to cover in this video. First and foremost, let's talk about the game modes that we're probably going to be playing. CTF is no longer in the game, so expect it to be hardpoint, search and destroy, and control. That seems to be the general consensus that that's the way we're going to go. I'm absolutely alright with that. Search and destroy has been, for the most part, very, very good. I played a few wagers, I've got used to it. It's pretty decent. I think all maps for search and destroy so far have been good. I think sniping is good for it as well. Overall, search and destroy is fun. I think 5v5 search does work, although sometimes there's been times where obviously you've got 3 down and we've called like, oh, one man left. Obviously it's been 2, and that's just because I'm stupid, but I think realistically search and destroy so far seems very, very good. Moving on to hardpoint now as well, I would say it has been quite hectic, but not as bad as I thought it would be in a 5v5 scenario. Bearing in mind that is just in pubs, so you know you can sort of take that with a pinch of salt, but I think for the most part on most maps it's been at a fairly decent pace. It's not too fast, but I wouldn't say slow at all either. It's still fast, but I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was going to be in terms of speed with 5 players on each team. I think there is some maps where it works better on, like some of the maps such as firing range. I think it is quite hectic, and the smaller maps, they can get very, very hectic. But for me, I think the majority of the maps are a good size for it, and I like hardpoint so far. We talked search and destroy, we talked hardpoint. Let's talk control, which is what I'm playing now. I'm playing control on firing range, and I absolutely love playing pubs on control. For the most part, usually there's loads of new players in there, and I could actually get kills, which doesn't actually happen too often. But for me, I think it's a really fun game mode. It really reminds me of Demolition, and if none of you played Demolition, there was 2 bomb sites on the map. There was unlimited respawns in that one, and you had to destroy both the bomb sites. But in this one, of course, you only get a certain amount of lives, and you've got to defend 2 different areas or attack 2 different areas. Both teams have 25 lives, or is it 30, something like that. And I really enjoy it. I think it can, when you get towards the end of games, it can be very, very tense. And I think it's going to be a really, really good thing to watch. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the pros start to play it, because you can only get such a good judgment of publics. But so far, I'm really feeling it, and I do really like control. Let's talk about the maps. I'm a big fan of a few of them, but for me, something that needs to be worked on is the spawns in hardpoint specifically, and in control potentially. I think that spawns are very, very sensitive. There's been times where, I mean, for example, I've been playing on Seaside. I think it is the 3rd rotation back towards the fountain where one of the sides spawns if you're going to, say, push down the left, and that's the outside with balcony and everything like that. And the first hardpoint will be on your left. It's the spawn that side, and you have the fountain hardpoint there. I think when you're playing that, there's times where I've pushed towards the back to keep hold of the spawns, and maybe just pushed up to the top of the stairs, and it doesn't keep the spawns. So the spawns are super, super sensitive. You really have to be deep into where the spawn would be to stop people from spawning there. So I would like spawns to maybe just be affected by where you are a little bit more. But for me, I think, you know, these things can be fixed, thankfully. So hopefully we will see things like that being fixed. But for the most part, I quite like hardpoint on these maps. I think S&D, most of the maps work quite well. I would say that Slums, for me, is maybe the only one where I've played that it's a little bit difficult, but I haven't played enough S&D to really get a good judgment of the maps as a whole. I really like Contraband S&D, actually. That was good fun as well when I've been playing that. Overall, though, I think maps, there's only a few that I'm not a big fan of, and that would be Icebreaker, Jungle, Militia, and Morocco. I'm really not too keen on these maps because there's just so many little lanes that you can go in and out of, and I just think that there's too many times you can be flanked. You're going to have to be thinking about 5 million different things. There's too many lanes for a full team to watch. and I just think it's a little bit hectic, and I think that's okay, because Treyarch did say, you know, not all these maps that we made up are going to be competitively good, so some of them I have to go. Treyarch understand that, the fans understand that as well. We're not going to play every single mode on every single map, are we? So that one for me, those 4 maps are just a little bit too much, and I don't think we'll see them in competitive. Maybe for Search and Destroy, but as said, there's a lot of lanes to watch, that sort of thing, so it could be very, very difficult. Let's talk about guns quickly. Overall, I do think they're quite balanced, but I would like to see a slight nerf to it and to the ARs. I think there's plenty of times where you can play a game on any map, any mode, you can run an AR and be fine in any scenario 9 times out of 10. There's only certain scenarios I feel like SMGs are viable, and that's only on like really close range moments or Search and Destroy games where you're rushing in and going very, very fast. These are the only times where you need them, and for me, I think I just want to see a slight nerf to ARs, make SMGs, well, keep SMGs where they're at, they do the right thing, but I think ARs at times can be stronger, and we need to balance it out a little bit. But overall, I'm pretty happy with where the weapons are at. Quick one at the Search and Destroy, they're very good, they're very accurate, but they don't always kill in one shot, which I'm fine with, because I mean, you know, they're very, very easy to use, and you don't really get punished for it. By the way, do not think the flamethrower is very good, as you can tell by that. Quickly onto specialists. I've only got about 1.5 minutes left of this game to go, because your boy just holds onto this truck down this right hand side towards the end. You'll see it in a second, and this is why I'm talking specialists now. I think a lot of them are okay. Token Ajax, I think for me, have to go with the shield that you can shoot through, and the barriers of the barbed wire still, if you watched the last video, you've seen what I thought of it, was very, very bad. Also, what Firebreak can do when he radiates people alive is insane. Look at that. I mean, I've just picked up 3 kills off the back of nothing. I think that might not be able to be used. His flamethrower is not too bad. But for me, that sort of thing, I mean, I can fire that through surfaces and, you know, not be punished for it, and it stops people from healing as well, so it's really, really powerful. This game's about to end in a second, so I'll start to wrap it up. But for me, overall, the specialists, the majority of them are okay, but there is some that are obvious that need nerfed as well. I wouldn't like to see armor in competitive as well. It's really, really annoyed me during the beta, actually, armor, but Stim's okay. I think it just sort of changes the way that you have to play the game, doesn't it? You can't just be challenging people and saying, oh, challenge him, he's weak, because to be honest with you, you don't know. Somebody, if he's running Stim, can be back up to full health in a few seconds. So realistically, it's just changing the way that the game has to be played. You have to slow down the way that you play in that aspect. You can't just be challenging people left, right, and center. But we're coming towards the end of the game. Overall, I'm super happy with how Black Ops 4 feels. It feels super, super smooth. I'm playing on the PlayStation Pro. I went and picked one up the other day. I advise you do that as well. The game just feels very, very nice on it. We're about to close out the win here on Control. Guys, thank you very, very much for watching. Can you please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed today's content? I'd love it if you could subscribe as well. We're bringing out more and more content every single week. And I mean, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys are enjoying Black Ops 4. I'll see you in the servers, and I will see you on the next video.